ahead and fast forward through. The rest of you, let me know you're here. Put a little note in the chat. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to work on. And I will see you guys in about 5 minutes. We're going to pick cards today. It's my birthday. I'm 42. 42. You wouldn't know it because I stretch every day. So, spouting of youth, you guys, the Ki-Hara. I'm patting my own back like I don't look 42. This is in the comments when you guys write, no, you don't look a day over 28. You look 28. All right, friends, I'm going to see you in about 5 minutes, so just hold tight. And see you soon. Hi, friends. I hate it when I miss the countdown. Sometimes I'm like 10, 9, 8, and then other times I'm like 45. What? Shoot. So, happy Monday, my friends. We're right back. It's Carrie from Stretch Chi. We're going to do a little stretching today, a little live class. Now, you guys probably know by now, if you've taken my class before, that I always pick a card from my yoga exercise card deck. This is by the company A New Fit Me. And I put their info down in my description, mainly just to give them a shout out. But, you know, if you want those cards, you can click on that link and knock yourself out. I'm going to pick a card from this deck. I've been shuffling here behind the scenes. And so I'm just going to pick a card, and then we will decide to focus on that stretch for today. And then it looks like it's well, crow pose. This is a tough one, but I have a really cool stretch that's very similar to crow pose that Ellie created. It's a really fun new stretch. Ellie Brentel, she's in Birmingham, England, and she's fantastic, and you guys should check her out. But we're gonna do a little bit of play around with the crow pose. Now that doesn't mean that you have to be able to do crow pose. So if you're just first watching this video and you're like, nope, and you wanna click off, hang tight, because this is the advanced pose, and I'm gonna walk you through all sorts of variations to try this on your own so that you don't hurt yourself, okay? Because hurting yourself is not the goal of this class. Being more mobile is the goal of this class, and being able to test your boundaries and see if you can learn a little bit more about yourself, right? And see if you can unlock some of the barriers that would keep you from being able to do that. What fears are getting in the way, that sort of thing. So we're gonna work through it. I also have been picking a card from the Osho Zen deck, which is, oh, I don't have the book with me, but it's the Osho Zen deck. I also have the link for this down in my bio. It's a tarot deck, but it's more about like consciousness and meditation than it is about like telling your future. So I like to pick 3 cards, and then we'll focus on the content of those 3 cards as well through class and see what comes up. Sometimes it's a really fascinating, sometimes it like blows my mind. And the way that class starts and the way that it finishes is usually completely different, depending on what these cards bring up for me as I am, here they are, as I'm stretching out my own body. So we have, for our mental space, no thingness, nothingness, but like no thing. Now that's kind of cool because it's a black card. There's nothing on that page. There's no thing on that page, which is kind of funny because we're going to put that into our mental space today. So nothing in your mind today. I got some tricks for that. The second one is for our emotional state. This is totality. This one in the tarot deck would be the 5 of Wands card, which is usually about kind of fighting. But what's interesting in this one is that it's 3 people on a trapeze, and they're creating the circuit. So one person is swinging the other person to the other one, and then all 3 of them will make this like total package, and then they can let go and it completes on. And then in our spiritual place, I also have clinging to the past, which is interesting because we are in a whole new world these days. And so what are you clinging on to? And we're going to see how this relates to what's going on in your body. Now, if you guys want some deeper insights, I've started my Life Renovations course, and that's also on my page. So make sure you check out those videos. I have a new one coming out today. Lesson 2 is all about taming your subconscious mind. So that's pretty fun. Some journaling, some diet, stuff like that. So I hope you guys will join in. And then of course, give me a shout in the chat if you are, if you are watching in the chat. I would love to know who's here. You guys, it's my birthday, which is kind of fun. So say happy birthday, because that's awesome. I seem to be having a little bit of trouble with the pages to see. Usually I can see my screen, and it doesn't seem to want to do that for me today. So you guys let me know if you can't see me. I guess you probably couldn't let me know that. Yeah, it says that I don't have anyone watching, which I don't know if I believe. So let me just check one more thing before we get started, and then we will get started. I'm just going to look at the actual video on YouTube and see that everything's working just fine, because I would hate to teach all of class and then have nothing happen, you know? You know? All right, and if anybody's there live online, let me know. Say hi. Give me a little shout in the chat so that I know everything's working okay. And for the rest of you who are sitting around looking at me, being like, come on, Carrie, get on with it. Go ahead and get your mat set up. Get ready. You should be just fine. Let's see. Monday, 11 a.m. Yep, there I am. Okay, good. Okay, let me close that down. We'll get started. You guys let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, and I am here to help, okay? All right, so crow pose is our first pose to challenge ourselves. Now, crow pose is a balancing pose. It's a lot about your fears. It has a lot of wrist flexibility, so we'll work through that too and see what comes up. So if you were going to do crow pose, what you do is you put your hands down in front of you and bend your elbows, and then you bring your knees up and just look down at the floor and try to lift your toes off the ground, and that's your crow pose. So that's basically where we're headed, but you don't have to do it. And of course I want us to get warmed up first, but you can try just to test and see where you're at, like what kind of fears pop up when you try to do this, or like what your ego mind is telling you, like, wait a second, I can't do that, I'll fall on my face, or this is, how can I hold my whole body up? So basically what you do is get down into a crunch position like this, like you're kind of in a squat. If you can't get in a squat, don't worry about it, right? We'll do something different. You could even be on your knees to start. Your hands down on the floor and see how your wrists handle you. Can they hold you up? Can you shift your weight to your wrists so that you can get off your knees a little bit? From here, could you come up into a squat? Would it be enough for you to use your arms just to try to push you off the floor? Or can you take your knees? So I've got my knees on the outside of my elbows here. I'm going to bend my elbows so I'm very supported, so you can bend through. And my knee's going to go right here on the base of my tricep. And then look down at the floor and just lean forward and see if you can shift your weight. But as you do that, pay attention to what you feel in your body, okay? Make notes, think of how it feels, and then we're gonna work our way through it, okay? All right. So that being said, hi Suri, we've got a helper. We're gonna work on our lats first because I feel like this is a very lat dominant stretch. You need a lot of lat strength to be able to hold in crow pose. So bring your right arm up and grab your elbow with your left hand, and then resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. And then use your left hand to pull you towards your left knee. So it's a little bit forward, a little bit down, and then you just come right back up. Up for strength and down for stretch. And you just go up and down. You should feel this stretch from your armpit here down towards your waist. And then you just lift right back up. Up for strength and down for stretch. Now, this stretch is one of our spiritual category stretches. So we're going to think a little bit about this, clinging to the past card and what that means for you. Now, of course, we're in a different place than we were a month ago, right? Or maybe a little over a month ago. The future looks very different. The past looks really different. What are you clinging to? What are you holding on to? sometimes it helps me to think, if I pull this card or I'm thinking about the past, if I take into my awareness today, what am I disappointed in today because of my expectations from the past, right? Life is different today than it was before. So the disappointments that you're having because of expectations don't really have any bearing at all. So keep that in mind. Maybe, what were your expectations from the past for today? Today's different. Can you accept that today's different and let go of those expectations? It's tough, right? I know, it's a different world. Hi, sorry. So you push up for strength. I'm now moved on to my left arm, so I'm grabbing my elbow with my right hand, and I'm pulling down to the right. And up for strength. And then down for your stretch. And as you come down for your stretch, accept change. Let go of the expectations from the past. And recognize that today's a whole brand new day. Slate's clean, you guys. It's totally clean. Anything could happen. Possibilities are endless. But not if you're clinging to the past. If you're clinging to the past, then you're kind of limited, right? You're limited in what your possibilities can be for today. Right, Suri? Right? Suri says a new box could come in the mail. Don't bite me. And she'd have toys galore because the box is the greatest thing for her. Okay, bring your right arm in and grab your wrist with your other hand. You're going to push up for strength and down for stretch. When you get to the end of this stretch, try to pull your head over to the left. So it's going to pull away from your shoulder. And you push up for strength. Sorry, that's not camera worthy. Jeez. It's not that kind of video. Sorry. To the side for your stretch and up for strength. This is for your deltoid on the top of your shoulder. You're going to bring your head to the side. Get a nice stretch through there. Up for strength. And down for stretch. You should be able to feel this stretch right here through the top of your shoulder and your neck. Right? See if you can feel it in your body. See if you can feel the strength. See if you can lengthen that stretch out a little bit more. Get a little bit deeper into the stretch if it feels good. Just by nodding your head, sometimes you can get a good stretch. Right? Just up and down. And then let's try the other side. So bring your left arm in, grab your wrist with the other hand, push up for strength, and down for stretch, and you'll bring your head to the other side this time. And up for strength, and down for stretch. And your head now to the right. You should feel the stretch from your ear down to your shoulder, maybe in the top of your shoulder. If you have any pain at all, just don't do this stretch. Just do what feels good to you. But really pay attention to what's happening in your body as you stretch. Can you feel your neck? Can you feel your shoulder? Can you feel anything else? Like, do you feel anything in your pecs or in your lats? Do you feel anything in the back of your shoulder? Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Play around and see. Pay attention to how your body is reacting to this stretch. And let's do one more. Up for strength and down for stretch. And now we're going to go into a stretch for the back of your shoulders. So bring your hands together, hold your thumbs on top and interlock your fingers, and then just bring your thumbs right over the crown of your head. And then here you're going to try to squeeze your elbows together. So squeeze. This is your stretch. And open up. This is strength training. Now let's shift our awareness from this stretch off of the past and into totality. So notice how this stretch creates a diamond from your hands to your elbows to your heart. As you do this stretch, your shoulder blades open and close, which is also kind of that diamond feel. And you could pay attention to just the shape of this stretch. The diamond shape of this stretch. Can you find that? Can you find the totality of that? All four corners. I think the easy ones, your hands, right? Your elbows make a good corner, but trying to find this corner here. The base of your rib cage, your sternum, maybe down into the back. Feeling the totality of this stretch. How it all works together. Let's do one more. Close it up for your stretch. And then from here, we're going to go into our downward dog stretch. So you're going to go onto all fours. Bring your hands down under your shoulders and your feet up. Now, when we're focusing on crow pose, we end up in this position, which isn't that much different if you think about it. So while you do this stretch, what I want you to focus on is the strength from your hands, from the palm of your hands through your wrist into your arms. Push up onto your toes to shift the weight to your hands. And then use your arms to push you away from the mat. Bring your head through. And if you can get this stretch in your chest, it's great. If you want to bring your heels to the floor, you can, but you don't have to. By keeping your heels up, you can put a little bit more stress into your arms and into your chest, getting the stretch there. So up for strength and back for your stretch. Up for strength and back for stretch. And you just go back and forth. Good. You guys stay in there. I'm going to check one more thing, make sure everything's working. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming through. If you guys are trying to chat, I apologize. You know what? Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to run and get my phone because I just don't believe that this is, I don't believe it's working right. So hold tight. Oh, my phone's right over here. This way, if you guys chat, I can find it this way. There we go. If it's working right, so there we go. Thanks, Brenda. I knew you guys were here. Very good. Okay, so let's keep working. Let's keep working. I want to go into a stretch for our forearms now. So you're going to bring your hands down under your body like this. Your fingers pointing towards your knees. And what I want you to do is push your fingers down and then just rock back and forth. So you push forward and then you rock back. Forward for strength and back for stretch. You should feel this through your forearms. It's a really nice stretch right through here. This is going to help us as we dive into this crow pose. Good work, guys. All right. Now, let's work a little bit on our legs, on our inner thighs, and see if we can open up here a little, because to get into crow pose, we're going to need to have this flexibility in our legs too. It's basically like being in this position, right? Except we get flipped around, yeah? So have your elbows on your knees, and you're going to push your knees into your elbows, and then use your arms to push them open. This stretch is for your inner thighs. So find this in your groin area and then push up. You could bring your hands in front of you so that you're kind of modeling crow pose, but from a different angle. So you can see how this would work. You can see how your flexibility helps you as you bend forward. It would be the same process as if you were doing crow pose. You would kind of fold into the stretch. So up for strength, your hands flat in front of you, and open up to stretch out the groin muscles. And you just go back and forth. Close for strength and open for stretch. Close for strength and open up for stretch. Find that groin stretch right on the inner thighs. Nice work, guys. Nice work. All right, now the next stretch we're going to go into is for your lateral hamstrings. So for this one, you're going to lay on your back. You may want to find a strap, a towel, a scarf, something that you can hold on to. I like to use a towel, like a hand towel seems to be perfect for me. You're going to wrap the towel around your left foot and hold the towel in your right arm. Lay back on your back. I want you to internally rotate your thighs, so you're going to turn your knee towards the right. You turn the whole femur in towards the right, and then kick your heel down towards your sternum on the outside. And then use your arms to pick you up. So you come up for your stretch, and you kick down for strength. I like to also hold my head up. It's up to you. You do what feels the best to you. But it's important here that you feel this internal rotation at your thigh. That means that your leg is pointing in the same direction as your arm. And I'm holding my leg with my opposite arm. So my arm is on a diagonal and my leg is on the same diagonal. If you can't reach this, just find a longer towel, like a longer towel, a longer scarf, a longer rope, and let your leg be a little further away from you. And having that distance should help you to get a little deeper into the stretch. It just depends on what your range of motion is. So down for strength and up for stretch. Good work, friends. And then these pants pick up every hair. You're going to switch legs. So bring the towel around to your right leg. Grab the towel in your left arm. Hold your head behind. Let your leg turn internal, so your knee will turn in towards your elbow. And you kick down to the right side of your hip, and you pull up, and as you pull up, it's a diagonal to the left. But think up and down more. Your leg is already turned on the diagonal, so you don't have to pull actually to the left. You're pulling up. But because you're using your left arm, it'll naturally pull over your left ear. You should feel this on the outer part of your hamstring, and if you don't feel that, it's okay. Just check out some of my other videos, like the lateral hamstring problem solving video. That's the one for sciatica, actually. It's pretty awesome. You could check out some of those videos. If these stretches seem too hard for you, you could try some of the other instructional videos, or even a series that I have called Stretching for the Inflexible. That's a really good one. It's a 4-part series with tons of problem solving in it. And that's, you don't have to be inflexible to do it. It's just the stretches are made so that they're accessible for basically anybody to do. So don't think that you're not going to still get gains from it, because you will. I promise. They're really great stretches. All right, the next stretch we're going to do is for your quads. Which one? I think let's go deep into the quad. Grab your towel again. We're going to put it up against the wall. And you'll put your knee against this towel. If your quads are really tight, you're going to want to bring the towel a little further away from the wall so that you're not so close. But, if you feel like going deep into the stretch, the knee close to the wall is going to be the best, okay? Bring your hands down to the floor. Take your right leg and put your foot against the wall and your knee on the towel. And then come around for your stretch. Here we go. Sorry, my sister's trying to FaceTime me right now. I was like, what's happening on my computer? Push your foot into the wall, push your other foot into the ground, and then go back and forth, pushing forward for strength and back for stretch. And you just go back and forth. So your back leg is pushing forward, your front leg is pushing you back. And you just do back and forth, forward and back. You should feel the quad a lot here. So forward for strength and back for stretch. Get that nice quad stretch. If this doesn't feel good to you, if it's a no-go, that's okay. You can skip it. You don't have to do this stretch. Or you could check out some of the other quad stretches later on the playlists, Stretch by stretch. There's a whole bunch of quad stretches. And there's a quad problem solving video that's really good. So you could check that out maybe on your other time or on another day. It'd be good. Nice work. This is a really intense one. And then bring your hands down to the mat. Let's switch sides. So bring your left leg up so that your knee is close to the wall, your other leg to the front, and you're going to come up into a lunge. And then try to push your both legs in opposite directions. Let your back leg win to push you forward, and your front leg will push you back. You just go back and forth. Forward for strength, and back for stretch. And you just go forward and back. Now our stretch and the card that lines up with it, this stretch and the card that lines up with it is nothingness, which I feel like I need right now. I'm really having a hard time with the fact that my computer isn't working the way that I want it to work. So it drives me nuts. And I'm like, this isn't how it's supposed to go for class. Hopefully everything's fine and you guys are all good. But I hate it that I can't see what's happening on the screen or what's happening in the chat, because it is really important. So, something's not lining up. So I need to get that out of my head and go from that mental space of yeah, to nothingness. So as you're doing this stretch, put your awareness on this stretch, put your awareness on your feelings, and let that chatter become no thing, nothing. Or turn it into a cat. A really cute cat belly. Kind of. Bring your hands down. And we're going to come out of this lunge. I'm going to try to do this without squishing my cat. Hi, Zoe. You're really in the way, Bubba. She has been so funny lately. I got this giant box from Amazon. And now it's a permanent fixture in our house. She loves it. Okay, we're going to go into a stretch now for our medial hamstring. So you're going to lay on your back. Bring your knee out to the side. About 45 degrees. You can hold your foot with a rope or a towel like this, or you can hold your heel with your same hand. So it's my right hand and my right foot. You can just do what feels good to you. Kick down for strength and pull up for stretch. Down and up. Hi, sweetheart. Ouch. It's not that game. Up for stretch and down for strength. Now in this one again, you can take that idea again of clinging to the past. Now it's funny because this balances with that mental stretch that we were just doing. How can you empty out that mental chatter by letting go of the past? I feel like it's important to be quiet today so that you can empty your brain. It is hard for me to do. All right, so hold the strap now in your left hand and wrap it around your left foot. Let your knee open to the side. Kick down for strength and up for stretch. And again, how much of your mental chatter was about something from the past? It could even be something as simple as when I was younger, I could do a quad stretch and today I can't. Or I used to be so flexible, why am I not so flexible anymore, right? You can let that go because your body is different today than it was yesterday, or different than it's going to be tomorrow or the next day. And definitely different than it was 10 years ago. But things can change too. I mean, those of you who know, I've been pretty vocal about it, and I said it in the beginning of class that today's my birthday. And I'm 42 years old. And I can say honestly that I have more mobility. I feel more at home in my body. I have less pain than I had when I was 20 or when I was 22, 20 years ago. That's crazy, right? That I actually feel younger now than I did 20 years ago. And that blows my mind sometimes. It can happen, you guys. You have a choice about aging. You have a choice about how your body feels. And you can make this decision to eat well, to stretch well, to clear your mind of the expectations and the problems of the past, to let go of the fears and the limitations that keep you locked up. These are the things that age us, right? And if you can let go of those things, then, oh my gosh, like you can have a much more free and open and abundant life than you had 20 or 30 years ago. It's real, I promise. Okay, let's go back into our groin stretch. So bring your elbows to your knees, up for strength, and down for stretch. Now take all of those things that I just said to you and empty your mind. Nothingness. Black slate. Wipe the chalkboard clean. And just stretch. Up for strength and down for stretch. Stop when your body says stop. Find where that piece is, where your muscles say, that's enough. Or when you might feel pain, you can stop there and just feel the goodness of this stretch. Feel the part of the stretch when there's nothing else attached to the stretch than just this stretch. No thoughts, no emotions, no pain, even if that means moving in a very small range of motion. Where are you clear on this stretch? Where are you in a clear? Up again, and then we'll go down one more time. Awesome. All right, good work, friends. Now we're going to go back into our crow pose and just see what happens, okay? This is more exploration than it is trying to actually do something. So what I want you to do is play around with your body going from here to crow pose and what stage of the process you are in. Okay, so right now you're sitting on the floor, that's fine. So next you're going to want to find all fours, right? And if that's where you are, that's fine. Next, you're going to try to go into kind of like a groin stretch like we were in before, a wide squat. Okay, so try to find that. And that may be that you're up here, maybe like in this plie. You can play around with that, like just trying kind of a frog type leg movement. You could play with that. You could try going from your hands, like from all fours, to taking the weight off your knees by putting a little bit of pressure onto your wrists. So all I'm doing here is shifting my weight from my back to my front and then trying to pick my knees up off the floor. How does that feel for you? Can you get that kind of support in your body? What does that feel like? What would it feel like for you to bend your elbows and bring your body a little bit more towards the ground and back up? Can you find that flexibility in your wrist, in your elbows, in your hands? What do you have there? Now, if from this position you feel comfortable and you want to go ahead and try the crow pose, find your wide squat, this like frog type squat, hands down with your fingers facing forward, bend your elbows, bring the top of your knees onto your forearms. This is not really your forearms, but like the top of your arms here over your elbow and under your tricep. There's like a hand-sized spot where your knee is going to go right there. It's very similar to that groin stretch we were doing before, remember? And then all you do here is shift your weight from your legs to your hands. Let your head come forward too. And if you can come off your toes, that's okay. Just kind of play around, maybe one at a time. Or maybe you come a little bit forward and see if you can find that. See if you can challenge your center of gravity without falling on your face. So that would be like wiggling your feet a little bit, play around with it, right? It's kind of fun. It's a little bit of a fun one, I have to say. Now, let's work on the back of our shoulders. So go ahead and have a seat again. Bring your right arm up like you're pulling a train muscle. And grab the outside of your elbow with the other hand, and you're going to push open for strength, and then close for your stretch. You just go back and forth. Open for strength, then close for stretch. This should be the back of your shoulder here on the right. It's not too complicated. Just keep your back nice and straight, opening up and then closing for your stretch. You can sit however you want. You don't have to sit on your knees like this if it doesn't feel good. And just get that nice stretch to the back of your shoulders. Open for strength and close for stretch. Nice work, you friends. Nice work. Okay, now we're gonna switch sides. So bring your left arm up, grab the outside of your elbow with your right hand, and try to pull both arms apart. You push it open for strength, keeping your back straight and pulling across for your stretch. So you're moving from your shoulder joint the whole time. You'll notice that my elbow on the other hand straightens out and then it bends. And in this stretch, you can focus again on that idea of clinging to the past. What are you still holding on to? What kind of things plague you a little bit? What are you holding on to in your body specifically? It's easy to hold on to things in the back of our shoulders. I have to say, it is really easy to hold on to stuff back there. And it could be old injuries. It could be the feeling of fear based off of an injury that happened a long time ago. Do you find yourself saying like, oh, I can't do that because of this shoulder injury that I had so long ago, right? If you find yourself doing that kind of explaining, making, I don't want to say excuses because they're valid, right? You did have an injury there, but your body may be ready to heal from that too. So instead of saying, it's funny because Life Renovation is all about affirmations this week. Instead of saying, I have this shoulder injury and so I can't do these things, instead you could say, my shoulder is healing. And just leave it at that. Because my shoulder is healing also means I'm not going to do this thing today because my shoulder is healing, right? I'm healing. That might be enough, okay? And then every day you can test it to see, is it better? Is it not better? What can you do, right? What are you clinging to, okay? See if you can move on from it. Now the next stretch we're going to do is for the front of your chest, and this one's like a push-up. You can do this on the wall or you can do it on the floor. It's up to you. I'm going to do it on the floor today. You're going to go into a plank position. I do these on my knees, but you could go on your feet if you feel like you really want this strength. That's up to you. I don't like to because I don't think push-ups are awesome. I think they're hard. So you're going to bend your elbows out to the side. It's pretty wide. As you come down to the floor, you'll get a stretch through the front of your shoulders and then push yourself back up. That's strength. You want to only go as far as you can without losing your core strength. So if you notice that your belly drops, like you can't hold yourself up, then you've just gone too far in the stretch. So maybe you just go this far. So you just play around with what feels good to you. Down for stretch, and up for stretch. I got it backwards again. Down for stretch and up for strength. And you just go back and forth, opening your chest and then pushing back up. One more because I'm out of breath. All right, that's enough of those. If you feel like doing more, you can. It's up to you. Oh, I got a cat hair on my nose. Suri's the best cat, but she does have the itchiest cat hairs. All right, so the next stretch we're going to do is for the front of your shoulders right here. And this is another one of our spiritual stretches. So we're going to continue this, this mental process of clearing out the junk from the past, right? So bring your hands behind you. And you're going to curl your shoulders in towards the center of your body. So it's like you're trying to curl up into a ball. And then use your arms to open you up. Lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Let your head come back if it feels good. And then curl in for strength. And open up for stretch. And just keep exploring. What does this stretch bring to your mind about when I say like clinging to the past? That's all I have to say. What are you clinging to? What are you carrying with you? What's creating pain in your life? Sometimes there are things that we think we like that still cause us pain. Right? So what are the things in your life that you mistake pleasure and pain for? That you have a hard time figuring that out? Sometimes it's relationships. It's the truth. Sometimes it's something like furniture. Like you could be like, well, I love this couch, but at the same time, like it hurts my back. So maybe, it's that kind of thought process. Like, what can you get rid of in your home that you think creates pleasure, but it doesn't? It could be a book. I had Anna Karenina on my shelf for years. That book's like this big. Tolstoy, I think. Is it Tolstoy who wrote Anna Karenina? Anyway, there was something about that book that made me feel really good about having it on the shelf. I think it made me feel smart to have a big Russian novel on my shelf. I never read it. So every time I would pass that book, there was this pain of like, this judgmental aspect of myself that was like, you're never going to read that book. And another part of me that said, like the ego part of me was like, this is great because you have this book. And the other side of me was like, you are a failure. And so one day I just got rid of it. And it was so liberating. So what's your Anna Karenina? What do you need to get rid of? It's kind of funny. So I got rid of it years ago. And then actually just a few years ago, I read the book. I finally read it. I didn't enjoy it at all. It's on my shelf for so long. All right, let's get into the back of our shoulders now. So bring your right arm across your body and grab your wrist with your left hand. And you're going to try to pull both arms apart. So it's like a diagonal pull. So you're going to push up for strength and pull down for your stretch. And when you get down to the bottom, bring your head over to the left. Bring your forehead forward a little bit. And see if you can catch the stretch in the back of your neck and shoulders. Should be right back here. Up for strength and down for stretch. Now remember when I was talking about the totality of our canopy stretch that was like this and it was like a diamond? This one creates a triangle. So I'm going to see if you can find that triangle. The triangle goes from your shoulder here to your wrist, all the way down, and your forehead. So from here to here to here makes that triangle. And I suppose if you use your other elbow, it could be a diamond, right? I suppose it's not really a real diamond, it's like a trapezoid. It's one of those ones that's all a four-sided shape. Geometry. Does anyone know the answer to that? Let me know. So down for your stretch, your head to the side. Maybe we'll stick to this triangle idea. It's just a triangle. See if you can find it. Up for strength and down for stretch, your head to the side. Up for strength and down for stretch, and your head to the side. I woke up this morning, and I have a full day today, so I baked myself a cake this morning. So my house smells like cake. It's lovely. I can't wait to eat it. And since it's like lockdown, I'm going to eat all of it. So I can't wait through the whole week. I won't eat it all at once, I don't think. The day is still young. Anything can happen. Bring your right arm across, bring your left arm across your body and grab your wrist with your left hand. Push up for strength. Keep pushing up and then pull down for your stretch. And you can bring your head to the other side this time to create that triangle. So here to your shoulder, to your hand. Find those 3 points and see if you can pull all 3 points as far away from each other as possible. Up for strength and down for stretch. So I'm pulling my hand and my head away from my shoulder, so that creates this longer triangle this way. Up for strength. See what I mean about the hair? Can you see that flying around? And down for stretch, your head to the side. It must mean it's getting warmer outside. Maybe I'll go outside today. The sky's blue. Up for strength and down for stretch. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to play around with this crow pose stretch again by the stretch that Ellie showed me last week that was so amazing. Ellie Bradsell from Birmingham, England. So again, we're going to go into this similar to a crow pose type stretch. Bring your elbows to your knees to your elbows, and shift your weight forward. But this time you can stay on your legs. You just want to have this feeling like you're squeezing your legs into your arms and pushing your arms out. Then what you'll do here, this is so cool, drop your drop your right shoulder down to the floor and then look up and away from it. The more you can spread your legs apart, the better. And see if you can find that stretch. So drop your shoulder and look up. You should feel that in the back of your shoulder. You kind of play around with it. This is called pandiculation. Once you're in the stretch, you can move around to see if you can find the stretch a little deeper, as long as it feels good to you. And then drop your shoulder up to the opposite side. See if you can find that stretch. It's good, huh? Isn't that fun? Okay, so now, let's see where we're at. We still have time, awesome. You're gonna lay on your back, grab your rope or your towel again and wrap it around your foot. Let's go with the right foot, and you're gonna hold the strap in your right hand or even with both hands. Kick your heels straight down and then pull straight up over your head. As we're going into this stretch, keep in mind nothing. Clear the slate. Kick down and put all the thoughts that you have, all the to-do lists, all the things you have to do today, put them in your muscle. And then as you pull up, it's like a Etch-a-Sketch. Shake it off and let everything just disappear. Put it all into your muscle. And then like a magnadoodle, whoop, erase it all. Down for strength, put all that tension into the muscle, and then erase it. Empty your mind. Down for strength, and up for stretch. And whatever's still left in there, put it in the muscle, and then pull it out. And let's switch legs. So your left leg up, bend your knee in a little bit, kick down for strength, and pull up for stretch. Tension's a funny thing, you guys. So you may have things now that enter your mind that weren't there on the other side. So kick down and put all of those things into your muscle. All the things in your brain, put them in there, and then pull them out so that there's nothing left. Down for strength, and up for stretch. Put those things you have to do today in your muscle and lift them away. They'll still be there. You can remember them later. But for right now, empty it out. Put all that tension in the muscle and then feel it all just clean slate. Down for strength and up for stretch. Nice work, guys. Okay, let's come up. Now, this stretch for your psoas muscle, it's one we haven't done in a long time. I brought it out a few days ago and I really like it, so I think we'll do it again today. Bring your left leg in front. Bring your right leg in and hug it. Give it a nice hug. And then what you're going to do is just very slowly tip back until you feel like you might fall, but catch yourself and come right back up. Back for strength. Back is your stretch actually. It's stretching this muscle right here in the front of your hip. And then pull back up. This is strength training. So you come back. And as you come back, imagine that trapeze artist. You remember the card where one person is holding the other person by the feet and they swing and the other person on the other side is going to catch them so that they don't fall. Right? So as you come down, catch yourself and come right back up. Find the totality of this. Find that piece of fight that comes at the very end and the ability to rescue yourself and come right back up so that you can overcome that fear, right? You might have a fear like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall. Oh no, I'm going to fall. Embrace that and know that you can pull yourself out of it. Back for your stretch. And up for strength. Take off from the platform, catch yourself, and then come right back up. It's kind of fun. Okay, other side. So bring your right leg in front, grab your legs with your left hand, give it a hug, let your foot come off the ground. You're just gonna tilt back, so you just tilt on your tailbone, just gonna roll back. When you feel like you might fall, then bring yourself right back up. You're in control. You have both sides of the trapeze. Is it a trapeze? The flying trapeze? Yes, the name of the flying trapeze, that's the song. So you jump off the platform, and you're swinging and you're swinging and you're swinging, and then catch, and then you come right back up. Right? It all completes, everything's total. Back for your stretch, and back up for strength. There we go. One more. Go ahead and lay back. As soon as you feel like you might not make it, then bring yourself right back up. Good work, you guys. Okay. The next one is for your inner thighs. So you're going to lay on your back. And we're going to do our splits in the air stretch. So grab your knees on the inside, squeeze your legs together, and open, 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 open. Your arms open you up. Your legs are going to squeeze back in to strength train your adductors in the inner thighs. And open. And close. You can also put that trapeze idea in your head. When you're on one side of the trapeze, someone's holding your feet. On the other side, someone catches your hands. And for a split second, you are completely stretched out. You're completely like at your total distance. And that's kind of where we are here. And then squeeze back in. So this is the instability to the point of completion and then right back. If one person continues to hold on too long, then the whole thing goes bad. You have to know the exact moment when to come back up out of the stretch. So you open up, your body knows the exact moment to change direction. The exact moment to change from reaching with your hands to holding on, right? So pull, 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 find that reach, and then grab on and pull back in. Let's do one more. Open up for your stretch, and find that point, and then pull right back in. Good job. The last stretch is for the outside of our hips and our glutes. So go ahead and lay on your back. Bring your right leg up. Let your ankle cross over your left leg. So my right leg is crossed over my left leg. I'm going to reach through with both hands and grab my left leg. Hold on, it's the Amazon truck. All right, I'm back. These things are important. Grab your left leg with both hands, push with your right leg out, and then pull in for your stretch. Out for strength, and in for stretch. We've focused a lot today, you guys, on letting go of the past. Trying to find the completeness in the present moment, that moment when you're suspended in air and you're just about to grab the person in front of you and everything changes. And in that moment, you can't really have anything else in your mind. You have to be completely blank in your mind. So let's take this opportunity to be in the present moment. Clear your mind and just focus on this muscle going from short to long and knowing the exact point of return. One more. Nice job. Let's switch sides. So bring your left leg on top of your right. Reach through and grab your right leg with both hands. Push with your left leg away from your body and then pull in with your arms. Find that stretch to the outside of your left hip and your glute. Out for strength and in for stretch. And here, think about the range of motion that you're working in. Pushing out as far as you can comfortably and then reversing that motion until you feel like you're right at the edge and then right back. There should be no pain here, just a nice stretch. If you're going into pain, you've gone too far. And put your awareness right into this muscle so that nothing else matters. Out for strength. Stretch. Oh. Nice work, my friends. Now, since we are focusing on our crow pose, we can take one more stab at it, okay? Let's just see what happens. See if you can play around with it if you want to play around with it. But again, take this idea of start to finish, and that moment in between is the important part. Not getting to the other platform or from where you started. It's the journey in between, and it's that feeling of safety and totality and everything working the way that it's supposed to work. So if you ever find yourself feeling like something's not right, then you've just gone too far, okay? It should all feel safe the whole time you're doing it. So bring your hands in front of you, your fingers pointing away. Bring your feet up so that you're in a groin type stretch. Put your knees right on top of your elbows. Shift your weight onto your hands. Squeeze in with your legs. Try to lift your feet off the ground. And challenge that pose. You play around with it as much as you want. You can try to stay up there if you feel like it. You're trying to find some balance in your arms. And as long as this is safe and happy for your wrists, you're okay to do this. If this hurts your wrists, don't do it. Don't hang out there. There's no reason for that, right? So good job, my friends. Today's a fun class. Make sure you check out Life Renovations this week because it's really, really good. I'm excited about it. And I have class again, 11 a.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays, but also 9 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday if mornings work better for you. All right, friends? All right. Have a great day. I will see you later.